On behalf of the team at Trackside, proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting and myself, Deez, Dayanand. Welcome to the show. It is a bumper weekend this weekend when it comes to local horse racing. It's Kenilworth on Saturday, and what a meeting that promises to be, bringing down the curtain on which has just been a fabulous, wonderful, highly successful Cape Summer season. And it is a feature race day that features the 2023 renewal of the Cape Derby and many supporting features. That is going to be the top liner this weekend, and added to the race meeting will be R1 million carried over to that pick six, and that's going to be a bumper pool, no doubt about that. And then we move along to Sunday, where it's a doubleheader, Turffontein and Scottsville, and that is going to be a busy day for punters with lots of action at both centers. So what have we done for the show? Well, as always, I've picked out horses to follow, and I've got 4 runners. The 4 runners I've saved for Sunday. 1 will come up at Turffontein, 3 at Scottsville, and then what I've done with that pick 6 carryover for Saturday, we're just going to go through the pick 6, the suggested pick 6, the perm that you can work yourself around, and we'll put that up on the numbers at the end of the show. So I think the way we go, we'll start off with Saturday at Kenilworth with that pick 6, and then move over to our 4 to follow. So on Saturday, the pick 6 will begin at 1350. It is the Bloodstock South Africa Sales Cup. It's over 1,200 meters. And I was just add that I had a chat with Justin Slate and Candace Bash-Robinson prior to coming on the show, just to get some feedback with regards to their runners. And I'll give you short comments on their runners just to help guide you. Race number 4, the start of the pick 6. Well, these are young horses, as we know, and this could spring any type of result, but we're going to take a big chance here. Golden Sickle, Justin Slate mentions this is my best runner on the day. And remember, these are young juveniles, but he says this is my best runner on the day, and he's expecting this filly to pretty much win. 28-10, I see around 5-2 now. But Candace Bash-Robinson, she liked her horse as well, number 4, Kyalami Girl, who was a touch unlucky first time out, not to make a winning debut. She got close to Justin Slate's runner, and that was Justin's thinking, because he mentioned to me that on a line to the horse that beat Kyalami Girl, who he trains, versus number 9 Golden Sickle. Well, he thinks his filly will be very hard to beat. So what have we done there in the pick 6? We've gone 4 and 9 in leg number 1. Race number 5, this is the Bloodstock South Africa Sales Cup for Colts and Geldings. It's over 1,200 meters. Now, here up on wide, I think you could get a result here. I respect the likes of Outlaw and Speeding Bullet to look to be the principals, but we've gone with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 runners here. I'll give you the runners in numerical order: 3, 4, 7, 10, 11, 13, and 15. 3, 4, 7, 10, 11, 13, and 15. So we're playing it wide there in leg number 2. By the way, Justin mentioned that Speeding Bullet is a progressive type, and he's expecting a good showing from him. He thought that maybe Outlaw King will be the horse to beat, but he suggested not to leave his horse out of anything. The horse is doing exceptionally well, number 7, Speeding Bullet. Then on to the 6th race, and this is the Nursery, Group 3 over 1,200 meters. And here, Justin Slate has number 10, Gimme Lightning, with the scratching of number 7. He says this is a progressive type. He is a horse that gives him a feel of campaigning and being a major factor in races like the Deez next year. And he's an exciting prospect for the future once they climb over further. He was quietly confident of a bold showing from this individual, number 10, Gimme Lightning. But what I've done here in the pick 6, I've gone and I've run for cover. I've gone with 5 runners. At a numerical order: number 1, Winter Cloud; number 3, Golden Tatiana. I've also included number 9, Distant Winter; the obvious horse, number 10, Gimme Lightning; and we've also included number 11, Roskova. What a win from her last time out, under superb ride by the visiting jockey Christoph Sumio. So 1, 3, 9, 10, and 11. Then the 7th race is the Jetmaster Stakes, a listed race over 1,600 meters. And here, firstly, let me tell you what Justin Slade says. He says, all my runners are well. These horses like Nexus and Kutzplate, they have wide draws to overcome. He's expecting good runs from them. A Warrior, he says, on his day, he's a talented horse, but he was clear to tell me that the value on the day from all his runners is Pekaya, who's drawn pole position. And there's money for this horse, anti-post, from 16 to 1. That's been backed into 8 to 1. Carrying 51 kgs, draw 1. He just kept reminding me of how unlucky this horse was last time out behind Silvano's Dasher, coming from a poor draw and not getting a run. And he said with 51 kgs from draw 1, 16 to 1 was just too generous, and the boys have got stuck in. So he really liked Pekaya there in race number 7. But I'll give you the numbers that I've included in the pick 6 in numerical order. 1, Pekaya. I've included number 2, Al Mutana. I think it'll be very foolish to ignore his chances, the winner of the King's Plate. Number 4, Imelenze Yoko Tutuma gets my vote. I like a roughie, big roughie at a big price. This would be the ideal result for us in the big 6. Number 11, Jeb King. 13, Silvano's Dasher. 14, Zapatellis gets my vote. And number 15, Quasi for sure. So those are the runners that we're going to go for there in the pick 6. And then the 8th race, this is the Derby, where we have a 3 to 10 shot over this 2,000 meter trip. And chatting to Justin Slade, well, he said all my horses are well, and I just paid compliments to him and his owners. Of course, this has to be some type of South African record where in a Group 1, especially the Derby, but if you look at any Group 1, Justin Slade has 6 runners in the race, and owner Nick Johnson has 6 runners in the race as well. Of course, the one of the runners is in partnership with Nancy Hossack, that's Rockpool, and the other is trained by Michael Roberts. But this must be certainly some type of record. 6 runners in a Group 1 for one owner, and 6 runners for a trainer, who is Justin Slade. And he says, all my runners are well, and, we're there to not shy away from a horse that looks impossible to beat if he runs anywhere close to his rating. But all my runners are well. And I asked him, I just said, obviously this horse Rockpool's at 5 to 1, but is he the stable? And he said, yeah, Richard Fourie chose the horse. And on what he's shown today and how he's progressing, he has to be the right horse in the race, and he's certainly going to make it a true run 2,000 meter trip. And the one question I posed to Justin was, does he watch wrestling for entertainment? And he said, yeah, he's a big Hulk Hogan fan when he was growing up. So I said, there's a synergy with this race to racing. It's like the mighty Hulk Hogan in the middle of the ring, who is Charles Dickens, taking on the tap team of Justin Slade with all these 6 runners. And we had a nice laugh about that. But he said, that is the perfect analogy that you could possibly use, because this horse, Charles Dickens, wow, he's got no issues. Candace tells me no issues over the distance at all. They think that he'll stay. He's now learned to settle in his running. He's as fit and well as she could have him. And she's very excited about the race with number 2, Charles Dickens. But what have we done here in the pick 6? Well, 3 to 10. If this horse wins, the pick 6 will pay well if you get results in other legs. It could turn out to be a very expensive exercise for Trackside, multiplying this by 3. But the fact is, with all these runners who haven't been the distance, they've earned their rating over a shorter. So how much can you read into this rating? And it's a wow rating for Charles Dickens at a 132, having run close up to Al Mutana at his last start. Of course, 2nd and 3rd in that race with Jet Dark and Commented Dun coming to run 1-2 in the World Sports Betting Cape Med. Everything points to him, but it is a wow rating that he's achieved over short. If he runs anywhere close to that over this 2,000 meter trip, it will be no race. He will smash this field. But this is where big picks are won and lost. So I've gone, with the cautious route and gone with the 3 horses that are in single figures. The one that's deep in the red, the obvious horse Charles Dickens, but I've gone with number 4 at my command and 11 Rockpool. And if we do get that result there, well, that will be the ideal way to go into the last leg of that Big Six. But obviously, you can bank the number 2 Charles Dickens, because there was no negatives from Candice Robertson whatsoever about his preparation, and he does look like a very hard horse to oppose. And then in the 9th race, well, I'm going simply with the 2 horses that finished close up last time out. Give Me a Prince is heavily supported anti-post, 22-10 into 14-10. But what a comeback run from Rio Carrari last time out. I say comeback, what a comeback to form for him when he was flying at the death there and got very close to Give Me Prince. So Justin says, yeah, both my horses are very well. We're jamming. If you're playing it one in the Big Six, he suggested to include that. But he really liked Rio Carrari. He liked the horse a lot. Of the runners from Candice Robertson stable, she said, a horse like Trip to Fortune was worth considering. This horse, Mr. Cobbs, she preferred it if it was over 1,000 meters. He seems like a 1,000-meter horse. And Fire Alley, well, he's in the race, but her preference was definitely for Trip of Fortune. So we are going 7 and 11 there in the Big Six, and that Big Six, as I mentioned, will come up at the end of the show, and you can jot those numbers down and play it for a percentage. And then on to Sunday, where we got these 4 horses that we're going to follow. 3 at Scottsville, and then we got the 1 at Turffontein. Our day will begin early in race number 1, and I think that this horse will be very hard to beat. Warrior of Royalty, on what we saw of him on debut. The money was there, the confidence was there from the stable. It was passed on, and he did everything but win. I think it was just greenness that caught him out, and he moved up sharply, moved up smoothly at the 400-meter mark. But when he got close, or alongside that eventual winner, Cliffhanger, that's when he started to just run around, and I don't know whether he was intimidated. It was just that he didn't know what to do, because he moved up like he was going to run past that horse, and he started running around, running away from the horse, running out, then running in, and Robert Carty changed his whip to the right hand, tried to stage him up, but he was already so unbalanced that Cliffhanger got a few lengths on him, and that was it. So Warrior of Royalty, that first start would have brought him on. He'll be street wiser after that debut run, and I think if there's nothing too special of the first timers here, who are the unknowns of the race runners, he does look hard to oppose in race number 1, number 7, Warrior of Royalty. And then on to race number 2. Yeah, it's quick and fast here. And last week, you can remember, we gave you this horse, and obviously that race meeting was abandoned, and his reach for the stars, Mike Miller and Sereno Modley. I thought that debut run was excellent. A horse that drifted out in the betting market. He made fair progress to that field and fought behind that horse of Andre Nell called Buster Keaton. Well, what is the clear standout is the strength of that form line, and I'll read it out to you. 2nd, Roy's July Magic. 3rd, Captain Rocket. 5th in that race was Unsolved Riddle. 6th in that race was Fine Admiral, and 7th in that race was McCartney. They're all winners. Of course, subsequent winner was Fine Admiral. So that form line is just looking special here in KZN, and he is the missing link from horses 2nd to 7th to not come out to win. Of course, he running 4th in that race, and I think this race, just with natural improvement, now that he's going down the straight instead of around the turn when he made his debut, will suit him much better, and whatever beats him will win. Race 2, number 11, Reach for the Stars. And then we move along to race number 7 or 8. I think it is race number 6. Yes, it is. It is race number 6. And last week, the show, ours was also tipped on the show, and that meeting was abandoned, and it's African Skyline from the Gartcourt stable, who's been a touch unlucky in his last 2 starts, taking nothing away from both those winners. Of course, last time out, he was beaten by a stable companion, Captain Fontaine, and we know that Captain Fontaine came to midweek to enhance that form line and winning a really good race over 1,500 meters. So that form line's looking good. He's a solid horse. He's got a great record. He's only missed the placings once, and I say placings, the top 4 once in his career. 3 wins, 9 places from 13 starts, and Atandiwe Good lies at 8 rides for 2 wins and 6 places. And he's yet to win on the turf, but you don't have to be concerned about that. That turf win is long overdue. He's had some cracking good runs on the grass, number 9. African Skyline. And with 53 kgs on his back, I think he'll be a hard horse to beat. Yep, there is some quality around him. There's some really nice sprinters, but I think he's nicely handicapped still, carrying 53 kgs here. A solid horse and a solid performance is expected from number 9, African Skyline. And then the one runner at Turffontein, if those 3 horses have to go, I think you have to play this Yankee to race number 9. It's at 1640 over 1160, and through my association to Dayanand, Chinsami, Mal and Nika, and of course they're in partnership with Gabriel Soma here with this horse in the beginning. I know that this filly, she just slipped under the radar first time out when I look at the odds that she went off, because these boys are not trying to have a go. That would never have started 33-1 if there was any confidence. Not there. They were expecting a poor run from her. The word was that she's a very nice filly. The runner was going to be used to bring her on, and she was going to be outpaced and running on. But what a huge, pleasant surprise it was, because she was definitely outpaced, but the finish that she found was just too good for the opposition first time out for her to make a winning debut. Next time out, it was expected for her to win, which she came very close to winning that day. And again, she was flying over that 1160, and she just ran out of runway. And then last time out, well, it was just unbelievable how she got beat that day when they tried over 1400 meters. Again, she was given a customary patient ride that we become used to seeing. When she was traveling down the lane at Turffontein, it was a matter of how far she was going to win by. She actually got past to the eventual winner, Gimme a Light. It was just unbelievable that when she got close to, and maybe even headed Gimme a Light, that she was going to, just run away. But kudos to Rachel Vinegar. She never threw in the towel on her filly, and how that filly found another gear to fight on and get up. It was sore for us to watch because I thought that she was a good thing on the day, but compliments on the ride of Rachel Vinegar. And this filly was just, she was just unlucky the way she lost that day. Well, she'll be here to set the record straight. And whilst it is a drop in distance over 1160, there's going to be a lot of pace that I see in the race. But nothing, I think, was going to match this filly once they get into the final 400 for that speed that she's got. She's been the fastest finisher in all of her 3 runs, and Richard Farid has been booked to engage with this filly. She is a daughter of Captain of All, and I think that she's got an exciting future on what she's shown to date, and I'm confident that she will win race number 9, horse number 5 in the beginning. So that is a wrap, guys, and you'll have 2 trebles out on the World Sports Betting menu, and you'll have that kick 6 that will be shown now at the end of the show. And hopefully it turns out to be a wonderful, wonderful weekend for you wherever you are racing. I'm sure you are just spoiled for choice on Saturday on what bets you're going to be playing. There will be healthy, big pools on the day, but I'm almost certain that if you're an exotic player, you are going to be playing a few pick 6s to try and get the cash at Kenilworth on Saturday. And we wish Cape Racing and everybody involved with that race meeting all the best on bringing down the curtain again on what has just been a wonderful Cape summer season. And then on Sunday, it is Turffontein and Scottsville, the doubleheader. Again, lots of action for you, the punter. And on behalf of World Sports Betting, thanks to all the punters, but more importantly and more especially, thanks to you, the valued customer. Have a blast, find all the winners, make a huge profit. And until next week, you take care. Sanadinga.